Hello and welcome to the very first ever Sea Hag Plays. Today I'll be doing Pikmin. I wanted to start with Pikmin as it is probably my favorite game out there. It is a game that I have loved since the day it came out, and honestly I've been obsessed with since the same. So I really hope that you enjoy. I have a lot of experience playing Pikmin, and I decided to go with the original GameCube over the remastered because I just find the controls better, in my opinion. I like some of the changes they made, which I can go into as we go through this series, but for the most part, I much prefer the GameCube version, so that's what I'm going with. As you can see, for those of you who have played before or are new to the game, one of the goals of the game, you can see in the bottom left of the screen, is to get 30 ship parts. I'm going to show you and walk you through it, no worries. My last playthrough, I got 29 ship parts in 15 days, which means I'm going on to the very final level on day 15. My goal in this playthrough is, yes, a bit of a speed run, a little bit of instruction, and as well as some tips and tricks that I found helpful throughout the years. So here we go, starting on our new adventure. One extra thing, my ultimate goal is to get all 29 out of 30 pieces, and I do say 29 out of 30 because the 30th will end the game. I do want to get all 29 by day 15 and see if I can either match or beat my previous record. My biggest thing is I may stop every once in a while to show a tutorial, but I'll probably use my original Pikmin game to do that for a few of the things. So here we go, without further ado, away on our new adventure with Olimar and the Pikmin. Oh no, we got hit by an asteroid. Whatever shall we do? There's one thing that's kind of debated about this game, is that where the heck are we landing? I'm positive at this point that it is Earth that we are somehow crashing on, just because in the second game you literally pick up parts of a globe that clearly show the Earth, and it says that you're going back. So this is a very odd Earth, and we are very, very tiny, but here we go to sit on our adventure. Day one is actually pretty straightforward, which I am a fan of. I think what I really like about day one is that there is no time limit. So for those of you who are new to Pikmin, there is a time limit on the days. My name is Captain Olimar. While traveling through space, my ship was struck by a meteor. I must have blacked out, and I awoke on the surface of a weird planet. With so many parts lost, the skeletal hull of my beloved dolphin is in a painful sight. The engine is gone. I'm stranded. To make matters worse, my atmospheric sensors indicate this planet's environment contains high levels of poisonous oxygen. My life support systems can function for only 30 days. If I can't repair the dolphin by then, no, better not think about it. I must find the missing ship parts. I'm going to apologize in advance. I tend to slip through very weird and strange voices as I play my games. So please, if Olimar's voice changes in between games or playthroughs, don't worry about it. So very first thing we're going to find is this is a red onion. And what in the heck might that be? As you will soon see, it is our lovely Pikmin. A strange thing has appeared before me. I had barely begun to search when it reared up as if it was waiting for me. It then dropped a single seed. What is it? Is it alive? Is it a machine? It resembles a vegetable on my home planet that we call an onion. I shall call this an onion too. No resemblance whatsoever to the onions we actually find on Earth. So in the interest of getting a little bit speed, when the onion sprouts a Pikmin, the Pikmin takes a little bit before it's pickable. So I always like to start by grabbing the two, knocking down the two pellets there, just so that I can get making my Pikmin as quick as possible. The seed that the onion drops took root on the soil and has now sprouted an adorable little sprout. This sprout emits a strange light, and it sways back and forth without benefit of wind. I cannot help but think it's calling to me. Am I compelled? I am compelled. I must approach it and press A. Like, seriously, what's the... who on an alien planet, the first thing they do is go, oh my god, let's pull out this thing that just popped in front of me. Does not seem to be the most smart thing to do. Extraordinary! When I plucked the sprout, it turned out to be a living creature, not a plant. Picking it has done no visible damage. It just stands there staring at me. Its shape is similar to the pick brown carrots I love so much. I believe I should call it a Pikmin. Here I am, stranded on a toxic planet, fighting to survive, and yet I am intrigued. I must research this fascinating creature. I shall try to grab it and throw it at A, and I would call it to my side with B. So this is all just tutorial stuff. Again, more tutorial. In the interest of time... Oh, that was bad. In the interest of time, I don't want to show the tutorial, but I will talk through the story parts. So as a Pikmin, one of the things that you're going to see, as Almar, I mean, when you use a color of Pikmin to grab the same color only in the number 1 pellet, you actually get a bonus pellet. So it doesn't really apply so much here, just because the only things I believe we can get on day 1 are red. But there are 3 types of Pikmin in this game, and each one has a special attribute. So without too many spoilers, I will give you the red ones only, since we've just got the red ones. And the red ones are actually resistant to fire. So they're very useful in that regard, and actually, if you can tell, they gave them almost beak-like noses because it actually gives them a damage boost. They're the only Pikmin with noses, and therefore the only Pikmin who do increased damage. And by tapping A, you can actually get multiple. One of the things that I want to highlight is you can overload the required amount of Pikmin to carry objects. It is capped. I do not quite remember off the top of my head what that cap is, but like, for example, we've got, it says 5 out of 5. The one on the bottom changes based on how many Pikmin you do have, so you need to have at least 5 minimum to move it. Now I am leaving those Pikmin just to bring that back and to go from there. I like to run and carry them just because I find they make funny noises. Now, the running and holding A to throw while you run actually does have the added bonus later on in the game that it actually gets your Pikmin to bunch up by color behind you, which makes it so much easier if you're only trying to target very specific Pikmin. For example, if there's a fire hazard and you only want to throw fire, it's a good way to bunch up the fire. So now that we have a decent number of Pikmin, so I got 12, 2 more to go soon, but I only need 10 for this, so I throw my 10 on it. Usually in Pikmin, whenever you see a little number, that almost always corresponds to how many Pikmin you need. Again, more explanatory, not relevant to story. One of the things that I will be doing in this game is, once I figure out how to, as this is my first Let's Play, I will be editing out some of the more just like grindy, walking, whatever parts in order to just accelerate what you see. I do not want you guys sitting there bored. If you want the full adventure, though, you can always go to my Twitch channel, the Sea Hag's Lair, on Twitch. And I will have everything posted there, shared there, and please, I will have my schedule up soon. Tune in for when I do stream. Again, you can just add an extra Pikmin or 2 to top up the speed. What's neat, though, is you'll see the one Pikmin actually got tired and came back to me. It only came back to me because I was still close. If you are too far away, it will take a little bit of extra time getting back to you. And of course, as you see, the Pikmin turned white. That is because they no longer had anything to do and were like, I don't know what to do. Olimar, I need help. Long story short, these Pikmin, I genuinely don't know how they survived. Based on their skill ability, they're great in groups, but they need a distinct leader. And of course, I am happy to be that leader for the duration of this game. So unfortunately, we are capped at 25 Pikmin on the first day. We are unable to hatch any more. Hatch? Plant? Whatever. So at this point, once you've gotten all 25, you go get this lovely first piece. This is what sets you off on your main adventure.
Amazing, there's no mistaking it. My ship's engine rests before my very eyes. By a stroke of pure luck, I have already stumbled upon the most important piece of my damaged craft. Fate has smiled upon me, but how will I get it back to the dolphin?
Well, guess what? The same way you've gotten everything else back to things. Let's just throw some Pikmin at it. Alright, while they are hauling that back, I will do a little cut, and we'll meet you at the end of day. For those of you who are still tuning in on Twitch or watching this live stream back, fortunately, I have been able to get my item. You can go up to the parts and press A again to get another description, at least of it. Really, there's no point. Something that's important to note about these parts, I will talk to you actually a little bit later. I'll do a recap when this gets in. But some parts are key to getting off the planet, others you can leave behind. So there we go. This is our first piece of the ship on day one, and now everything else will be timed. So this was our only sort of leeway, so this will also be a shorter video.
Oh, glorious! With the help of these Pikmin, I've taken a huge step back towards home. My ship can once again lift off. The glimmer of hope is beginning to burn more brightly. But what's become of the remaining parts? That search starts tomorrow.
So it's the end of the day. We get this lovely little animation. The Pikmin go back to their lovely onion, and they actually follow us up into the atmosphere. If you leave any Pikmin behind, they do unfortunately get eaten. On the good side of it is any time that the Pikmin are within a certain area of the onion and the ship, I believe you can actually see a ring when the countdown for the day starts. They are considered safe. They either have to be in your party and not doing anything, or safe. They cannot be on another task, otherwise, unfortunately, munches and crunches, they will no longer make it.
One day since impact, I have somehow managed to launch the dolphin, but I was surprised to see the onion lift off with me. Perhaps the Pikmin cannot survive overnight on the planet's surface, or have they merely decided to join me for other reasons? Either way, it seems they will help me again tomorrow.
So this gives you a little bit of a blurb about the different parts. How can I repair a dolphin in such a short time? Some things are key parts that you will need, some things are not. And then, of course, the end of the day, we get an update on our Pikmin population, what day it is, parts remaining, days remaining. Thank you for tuning into this very first episode of the Sea Hag Plays Pikmin. I will see you on day 2. Please do not forget to like and subscribe below, and leave any comments and questions that you have about the stream, any games that you might like in the future, and how you came to find my channel. Thank you, and we'll see you soon.